So in this video, we're going to look at email culture within an organization. And that can be very different from one place to another. So not just when you're moving from education into work, but moving from one company to another. It's important that you find out and get used to as quickly as possible what is the email culture within that organization. Some will have specific cultures that say you should or you should not reply all to an email that you're copied into. Some will expect BCC to be used. Others will say that it shouldn't be used, and it's for you to find out and make the correct use of that. So we're going to have a look in this unit at a few things that can be really useful. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump in to my Gmail here, and you can see I've got an email and then there's a number of people copied into that. Now I've got my default reply setting as reply only, not reply to all. You can change that in your settings just up here by clicking on the settings, going to see all settings and scrolling down here to your default reply behavior. Okay, if you do change anything here, it's really important that you scroll right to the bottom and click save changes. Okay, so if I open that email back up again, my default reply behavior is going to be to just reply to that one person. Okay, that's the first thing. Make sure that you're only replying to people who really need it. The last thing people want is unnecessary emails. And really, if you're CCing somebody in, that's for information only. It's not that you're expecting them to act on it at all. If you're using BCC, particularly if you're emailing a large group of people, that will prevent reply to all from being possible. So if it's allowed to use BCC within your organization, then actually it's a real bonus because it prevents people from getting those dreaded thanks emails. Yep, I've got that, thanks, that then replies to everybody. So do check that before you reply to your emails. And secondly, check whether you're CCing or BCCing people in. And there will be a policy on that, particularly around data protection. You can also potentially use Smart Compose to help you write your emails more effectively. So if I click on reply here, or I use the keyboard shortcut R to reply, if I start typing, you can see that it's suggesting Dominic because it's recognized here. And again, it's giving me a suggestion. And if I want to accept that suggestion, I can just hit tab. So it speeds things up and makes me more efficient. One thing I would say is whatever you do, don't forward on to other people a whole string of emails and just say to them, see below for more info, because that's basically saying that you're asking them to work hard for basically some information that you want. So don't forward on and say, just see the thread, give them a summary of what's been said so that they know what they're looking at, because it's not necessarily as important to them as it is to you. Also be aware that you shouldn't really be emailing people asking questions that you can find out answers for yourself, okay? And if you wouldn't say it to somebody's face, you wouldn't go and stand in front of your boss and say, I don't know how to do this, then don't do it online either, okay? And finally, just bear in mind that sometimes a face-to-face message or conversation might be much better. So if it doesn't need to be an email and you can just speak to that person in 10 minutes time or 20 minutes time or this afternoon, do think about whether a face-to-face communication would be more effective, depending on what it is you're trying to do.